All right, everybody. This is the Monkey Flip Podcast, Season 2. We fought Jey Uso, and Jey Uso, and we have the right to actually do this now, so we can do that. I mean, the guys had to fight Jey Uso to get in the door. The dog had to go pee, and to do that, he had to fight Jey Uso. So everything is good. We've got our Jey Uso card. We're wondering about when we leave. I get to stay here, so I'll have to fight Jey Uso to stay here, and then you guys have to leave, so you have to fight Jey Uso to leave, and start your car and all the other stuff. I mean, not saying that there's too much fight Jey Uso, but there's too much fight Jey Uso. Yeah. Jey Uso, the SmackDown main event stand-in. I mean, I something I enjoy about him is he's really selling the predicament that he's in.
Right.
I just don't know what's going on. Like with my brother, we want to be a tag team, but I gotta help Roman, and I'm stuck between the middle. And even in the ring, when the camera's on him and nobody's paying attention to him, he's like, "What am I going to do?" I said, "Selling the shit out of that. Good job."
It's like last night. Yeah. It was him and Jimmy versus Street Profits.
Yeah.
And the whole match, he was doing that.
Yeah.
Yep. And at the end, they won. Then they went and talked to Adam Pearce. Got a tag match against whoever won between Ray and Ziggler and them.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, he's just like, shit. It was great.
We got a tag match.
Then they had this segment with him and Roman. And Roman's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're in the main event. Now you're going to go back and tag with your brother.
Which weirdly valid points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weirdly valid points. Like you're opening the show when you're a tag team. Your main event, Jey Uso, when you're with me.
Yep.
What are you doing? Well, I would guess if his brother would made him fight all his battles for him, he could do both. He could open the show and close the show.
Right.
That's cool. So my only problem with Jey is I think they need to work more on him being a singles guy and give him some singles credibility. Because I mean, I understand that it's a new era in wrestling, and I'm an old guy, and everybody's like, "Dude, you just got to lay off." But I don't want to see 17 fucking super kicks in a match. I just don't want to see it. It doesn't work, and that's what Jey Uso's got. He's got some other stuff that he does, but yep. And there, I went back to complaining to something after I was given positive things. So yeah, anybody? Because I'm going to be totally honest. Since we've had this hiatus, I have been leaving wrestling on in the background and barely listening, with the exception of WrestleMania. When WrestleMania was on and they had the crowd, I started to just listen, and then I heard the crowd get into it, and I was like, got to turn back and watch. Yeah. Turn back and watch that whole thing. The first one was good. The second one lapsed really well, but
it was
really
almost
far.
booked that way, wasn't it? It was booked crappy.
Yeah, it's like everything exciting was on the first day, and then the rest of it was holdover.
Right.
So, I mean, when you're talking about putting a women's championship up, and on the first day, Sasha and Bianca Belair, it's going to be something that has so much mixture of the crowd in that it's going to be a draw. It's going to be great. But then after that, we had some stuff.
That was an awesome match too.
It was
very good.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good match.
I thought the funniest thing was after the match, and it showed Sasha on the outside. She wasn't crying. She wasn't hurting. She was smiling.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you have a good match, when you're like, fuck selling. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, she had to keep selling her side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that wasn't selling. I got wrapped around a belt a couple times. The belt wrapped around him.
Yeah.
I don't think I got skin there anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed every part of it, and I like that they gave her the fanfare she needed for that. It's pretty good. It's not like AEW where you've got a storied tag team that's been in the business for a long time, and they bleed and they sweat and they shed tears for you on the match, and they give you a whole 10 seconds to, well, they're done. Okay, on to something else.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Give those two dudes something. I mean, did you see Matt Jackson hard-weighing fucking Christopher Daniels?
Uh-uh.
They did a spot, right? Okay, I'm giving away. If you're a fan and you don't want to hear this, it's fine. So you could clearly see Daniel's blade on the side, right? And he's bleeding pretty well because he got himself in the eyebrow, got a real go at it, and he's pouring blood. Well, it keeps going towards the match, and here's something that a lot of people don't know that, well, maybe some people know. You get that cut, you think, oh, he's got to have stitches to cut that up or he's going to bleed out. That's just not fucking true. It'll stop bleeding. It will stop all on its own unless you move it and mess around and everything. So he's down there, he's doing the wrestling and everything, and it's not really bleeding as much as they need. And I know that they called a spot where Matt and Nick Jackson had on Nike Jordans.
Right.
Yeah. So I think they called a spot where Daniel's supposed to go over and bleed on Matt Jackson's shoes. Jordans on his shoes. So he was like, so they're like, okay, we got to make sure he's bleeding. So Jackson's got him in a headlock and he's hard weighing him right on top of that thing. And he's blasting it. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, why is it, what did he do? Because my first inclination is like, this is a fucking receipt, but now it's gone past that. So I'm like, what did he do? And then they did the thing where he's crawling and the blood is pouring out onto his shoes. Like, oh, he had to bust it open to make sure it was bleeding enough to make that mean something. It has to be extra because the cameras have to pick it up. And that's what they did. And I was like, big on that dude. That sacrifice that he just took, get blasted in the fucking eyebrow. It must have been 7 times, just straight up as hard as he could, dropping it on him.
So pretty much like Rock Mankind, Royal Rumble with the chair.
Yeah, we're just blasting it. I don't care what happens. We'll fix it later. And they go through all that, and at the end of it, it's like the Bucks are the champs, and Frankie and Christopher Daniels get like 10 seconds to be in the ring to, oh, this is horrible. And that's how that tag team ends. That's crazy. Let's give them a minute. Right. Give them something. Give them something the next show. And they kind of did with a segment, but who knows? It was a lot of work that they put through and a lot of sacrifice. And yeah, I know if I wanted somebody to blast me in the forehead for that, I'd like something out of it. But still.
Well, he did get a nice black eye from it.
He did get a very nice black eye from it. And what'd you expect? I mean, a full-grown adult punching you directly in your eyeball?
7 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I try really hard not to get people to punch me in the face. I try really hard.
That's true. I try really hard not to get people to punch me in the face, but I have a tendency to think that they want to do it anyway. They're just afraid I'm going to punch back.
I was going to say, but they're not going to do that to you.
Yeah. I'll find a person. They're out there.
I mean,
you're definitely out there.
Do you really need to?
I don't need to, but I'll find the person that goes, yeah, you're enough of a dick. I'm going to punch you. And I'd probably go, yeah, go ahead.
You know me well.
I know what's going on. Okay, so WrestleMania, we were talking about Bianca Belair and what she got, although that does bring up an interesting point. Bianca Belair's hair.
Yeah.
And the whip.
Yes.
And using it as a weapon and tying it around people to get a pinfall.
No.
That didn't happen?
That was Bailey.
Bailey said that happened?
Bailey wrapped the hair around her.
Oh.
And it backfired on her.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So now she's trying to play it off like Bianca had to use the hair to win.
But definitely used it as a whip. I saw that one.
Oh, yeah. She whipped the shit out of Sasha.
Yeah. That is...
She had done that before when she first started wrestling. It was the reason why she keeps it is because that was her move. It's the reason why her music starts like that.
Okay.
Yeah, she was doing that
but when she started, she was a heel.
Yeah.
I mean,
all this stuff, she's babyface.
Sure, but if you do that to a heel, you're gonna get.
Yeah, you're gonna get.
That's true. It is true that you do it, but you don't do it. I smack her. You do it. She smacked me. I smack her back. That's how you. That's the only way to do that, and not be a heel. It goes to show there's something like I'm going to say something controversial. Imagine that.
Not you.
Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are heels.
Oh, yeah.
They are heels. I don't care what you say. I don't care. They come out, they talk shit, they make fun of people, they interrupt people, they cause distractions to get the win. those are heels. Some of they're lovable heels. People are watching them. They're thinking, hey, yeah, cool, Kofi, but they're heels. That's heel behavior. And it seems like a lot of the things in the WWE are going that way. Because, you know, they see this thing with Shinsuke with Boogs.
Yeah.
Boogs.
That was cool.
Really? Is that his name? Boogs?
That's all I've heard. That's all I've heard him called.
It's hard for me to fathom that somebody went in and
Boogs.
yeah, what do you want your last name to be? Boogs.
Oh, it was
Boogs?
Bugenhausen.
He ripped it on that guitar though, didn't he?
Yeah, he's kicking butt
Yeah.
on the guitar. But
Bugenhausen or whatever from NXT.
yeah, so he gets up, like in Shinsuke's match, he'll get up and he starts playing the guitar. That causes a distraction, and he gets to roll up 1, 2, 3, and that's the way it goes. Like that's heel behavior. I don't understand what you're trying to do with this character. You're trying to make him lovable, but you're doing all the heel behavior, so you're blurring the lines for the people who need that.
Yeah. Last night, during Nakamura's match, Baron come out, hit him, went, got the crown, on his way back up. Here he comes from behind and hits him, you know.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
See,
and
but-
Shinsuke picks up the crown.
Right.
do the whole
But I
shit.
mean, like old school, if we're thinking old school, if we've got, like, let's say we've got Ric Flair in the ring, and then Arn Anderson goes in and does something to Ric Flair, or does something to give an advantage to Ric Flair, and then he starts leaving the arena.
Right.
And then you've got good, like, let's say Sting, because that's the only fucking thing coming to mind for whatever reason. Let's say Sting comes out and confronts Arn Anderson about it. Does Sting come out and whack him in the back of the fucking head when he's not looking? No. Or does he turn him around and go, hey, and then Arn takes a swing, ducks him, and he puts him down? That's the difference, a subtle difference between the heel and the face. I mean, that kind of still needs to be there to make it believable.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many of these people, these good guys that are just running in. One of the worst buildups to a match that I've literally ever seen, even indie scene bullshit, is Big E and Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
Because Apollo Crews is running his mouth, Big E is fucking catching up to him and just beating the snot out of him. Every time they get together, he's beating the snot out of him. Then they get in a match and he beats the snot out of him. And then they get in another match and he beats the snot out of him. And then it's backstage and he beats this. Apollo's coming for him. Apollo's like, I'm going to get Big E. And he jumps him. And then Big E beats the snot out of him. And now all of a sudden it's like, we're going to have this we're going to have this on the next pay-per-view. It's like, why? They've already fought 3 times.
Right.
And Big E has dominated the whole time. Well, now they get him with this other guy. And all he's ever done is cheat. So it made it a little better because he had to cheat to win, and now he's cheating to maintain.
That was a badass super kick.
Get it. Right? I get it. So, but still, the build up to that, it's like, why do I want to see this? Big E has just beat his ass all over backstage area, and your backstage area is a football field.
Right.
That's how much ass was beat. He beat him on the 35, on the 45, on the 50. He's on the 45. He's going to go all the way, right? So I don't get that. I didn't get that build up. It took me out of, I think Apollo Crews is doing something good with his career. Not that I don't think he chose this.
Well, all it is play off of doing the Uha Nation thing that he was doing on the Indies.
Okay.
That's exactly all it is.
I didn't know what he did on the Indies. I never really followed that part. I know he was in Stone Mountain. But I didn't really follow Apollo Crews there. I call myself a wrestling guy, but every time I talk to somebody, it's like, whoa, he did this in the Indies, he did this over in Japan. It's like, I don't watch the Indies or Japan. Like, and they're like, why do you think you can talk about wrestling? It's like, because it should be the same in all those places. I thought he was just mimicking. It just made me want to watch Coming to America again.
Right.
But yeah.
Speaking of that, did you see the second one?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't looked at that.
I saw it.
Got this thing that I'm watching. When I'm watching trailers for TV, I'll get into a new movie or show. I'll get into it right until it says an Amazon Prime original, and I'm like, "Fuck you!" I'll turn it.
What about the new Mortal Kombat?
I haven't seen that either. We haven't really been watching. We've been watching a lot more murdery cult based things than we've been watching anything else.
Oh, that makes me feel really uneasy.
There's some say that I could be a cult leader.
I'm all about the documentaries these days.
Yeah, documentaries are really good. There's some good wrestling documentaries on AEW, or not AEW, what? A&E.
A&E, yeah.
But my
Those
problem,
have all been good.
my problem is every time I watch them, I have commercials in them, and it bugs me. It's like, I'll just wait till I can find one without commercials in it. Watch it that way. But I want to watch the one on Foley. I want to watch one on Booker T. I watched the one on Steve Austin. It was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Very good.
My favorite one so far was probably Foley.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Booker T, I wasn't all that impressed with, but
Yeah.
I also wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah, I like documentaries, if wrestling or no. So
All right.
when those things are on, good.
Oh, by the way, rest in peace, New Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a heart attack.
Yeah, heart attack.
Yeah. That's tough.
And everybody getting released. Joe and Daniel Bryan and
Yeah, Samoa Joe I get. The reason I get it is because they hadn't really been doing anything with him anyway, making him an announcer.
he was hurt and stuff too.
He's good as an announcer, but he's also I mean, let's face facts. He's better than the kid they got on NXT, who sounds like every moment he's getting a prostate exam and is not being warned when the finger's going in.
Yeah.
He's like, and they're going to be a clothesline. He's going to pick him up and he's going to throw him into the ropes. Oh, man. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Can we stop with this? Well, I don't even remember his name.
I don't.
Vic something? I don't know.
I don't watch it close enough.
Oh, Vic Joseph.
Vic Joseph. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
because
there or not.
they got rid of who was it yesterday? Kid that was on Raw.
Tom something?
Tom
or-
Phillips, yes.
Tom Phillips. That's
They got
it.
rid of him yesterday.
Okay. Though I have a feeling a lot of those people they got rid of were the people that are sitting at home going, "Yeah, they're going to get rid of me."
Yeah,
Just waiting for it. But I mean, some of that's going to open up some good stuff. I hope. Let those people. There are a lot of talented people that they let go, just because they don't understand how to use them. Like when you think about the Iconics,
They should have just kept them together.
Yes.
man, those two. That's good shit.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
good shit. And hopefully they can do something similar somewhere else.
Probably
If
gonna
this
end
hasn't
up at
soured them.
AEW.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
there's a sexual tie there, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Go ahead.
Did you say sexual?
There's a sexual tie.
Yeah,
there.
because
Sean Spears.
Peyton and Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just say marital?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if are they married?
Yeah, they're married.
They're married. Okay. Yes, marital. There's a marital situation. I'll try
Cassie
to.
and Sean are married.
Yeah, I'll try to rewind and edit this. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, there's that, and Billie Kay was just funny. Every time she was on the screen, I mean, if they couldn't figure out what to do with her wrestling, when she'd show up with the headshots and talk about that stuff, it's just funny. And you need a little bit of that, because the funny you're trying to give us on a regular basis is an asshole dressed up like a ninja trying to go for a 24/7 title.
Right.
Give me a break. It's like, that's a lot of ninjas. That's too many ninjas. Why are all the ninjas fighting for the one ninja to get the title when the title's open to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that the WWE does not care about a wrestling match when the 24/7 title runs in to be fought for during that match. And it's usually a woman's match that they do that in. It's crazy.
Or a tag match.
Yeah. Okay, so we've been gone for a while. This season 2, I didn't really want to break it up into seasons where we jumped off 2 months or 3 months, but you know how that went. So why don't we go around and just bring up anything that you want to talk about with wrestling? I mean, I have a tendency to just jabber. So why don't we start with Hammer? And you got anything that you want to bring up or talk
I can
about?
go with my obvious that you don't want to bring up.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Pat on doing SmackDown?
I like it.
I haven't seen a lot of it,
I
so
like
I
it.
really don't know.
Yeah. He is.
I've heard it's good stuff.
It's
He
good
is
stuff.
very good on the mic.
Yes.
He is very animated to the point where I have never seen the camera cut to an announcer during an entrance. But when Pat got up the other night and was dancing around,
Yeah.
they cut to Pat. They're like, no, cut to Pat, because that's the spectacle that he was.
That's much watch TV right there.
I think that's good stuff. So I think he's doing a great job. And the best part about it is, it does not sound like somebody spontaneously shoving his finger up his ass
Right.
while he's doing it. Like, and he's announcing correctly. I think the one downfall that I would hear from it is, I almost can feel the instances where someone's in the headset telling him to say something heelish.
It's Vince.
It has to be.
He on the show, he said Vince is a guy that's in his ear. He said, but he don't say a whole lot, but every now and then when he wants something out.
But it's because it breaks the vibe, because Pat's out there having fun, enjoying what he's doing, announcing and saying what's going on. And then all of a sudden he's got that's his crown, Cole. He's got his crown. He's got to keep his crown. And like, somebody's telling him to do that, because he was just like, he's got his crown. Right. Look, he stole his crown. That's Pat McAfee. So
he was jamming out with Nakamura's entrance last night.
He had balls all up in Michael Cole's face.
Yeah. And just doing it.
Yeah.
That was great. So that it? The McAfee thing? Anything else? How about live shows coming back?
Oh, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
What does it say? When they starting that? 2 weeks?
July
16th. Yeah, the first one's in July, I think, in Texas somewhere.
I'm really surprised it wasn't in Florida.
It'll be
because
they're there.
Because Florida's opened up for them when nobody else would, so you figure they would get back. You know what I mean?
Somebody made a very good point on Twitter the other day where they said have them do the tour and then come back as a thank you to Florida at the end of the first year and do that there.
They need to do something. All the places, NFL, UFC, they all need to do something.
Yeah.
Because Florida's the only place that allowed them to do a lot of shit.
Right.
Yeah. Get UFC off the island.
Yeah.
I mean, why though? He spent all that money on an island. Why not just keep an island?
Pretty sure that island could be repurposed.
Yeah, he was borrowing.
I don't know if you've seen the Jeffrey Epstein thing.
I mean, that was where I was going with it. Was going to be like, well, we might not want it to be repurposed.
Okay, disclaimer: I'm not implying in any way, shape, or form that anyone from the UFC, bald or not, is going to use their island as a way to traffic young children. That is not what I was saying. It was just a joke, because Epstein had an island and it can be repurposed to something else. Not what I was trying to say. Not what I was trying to say.
Also, and also not advocating for anything.
Definitely not advocating for trafficking young children or any illicit activity going on at a private island.
It's weird that it got quiet.
It got quiet because I noticed I was wrapped up in the microphone cord. Okay, so the new stuff coming back. Good stuff. I even saw I felt like I saw a little bit of difference in the package last night on SmackDown. It looked like they had spent a little more money on advertising. Yeah. Maybe they got some of the money coming in for the ticket sales. That's awesome.
Don't SmackDown seem a lot better than Raw at this point?
SmackDown is so much better than Raw, but in the same respect, both of them need to be turned up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The Raw kind of did live off their name pretty much,
Yeah, it's always been the A show. The thing I've hated the most about it is every time, because they do this every time, SmackDown and Raw, SmackDown gets so much better, everybody transfers to Raw,
Right.
and they don't understand that it's not the person, it's how they're using the person. Yeah. Like AJ, every time he's on SmackDown, taking shit over.
Yep.
Every time they bring him back to Raw, he starts moving down the card.
Yep.
It's crazy.
This is why he's in a
tag team with Omos.
aimless tag team.
Weird. That was a weird pairing.
Yeah.
Did you notice they've got Omos and AJ on one side as a tag team, and then they've got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Not saying AJ's a girl. Not saying AJ's a girl. I'm not saying that. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that there's a beauty and the beast on both sides.
He identifies.
Which is weird because Nia's not really a beast.
No, not really a beast.
I don't know what you can say about Nia.
Oh, I'm not going to say what I was getting ready
You
to
can.
say.
You're the only person at the table can say what you need to say.
I was going to say, and Shayna's definitely not a beauty.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God, no. Nia's a lot prettier than Shayna.
Yes.
The only thing I could say for Shayna is don't beat me up.
Right?
Yeah.
She's bad.
Because she
Well, that's kind of why I was pausing myself, because
Just in case she comes and finds you.
for you, it probably wouldn't be fun for her, and she'd be like, I can kick your ass, right? And you'd be like, yeah, I know.
yeah.
But for me, she'd be like, I can kick your ass, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. It happened. My only defense
I
is
like my teeth.
My only
so.
defense is to go is like, I'd find that hot, and then maybe she'd be creeped out and run away.
Right.
But still, that's about all I got. What?
I think I'm worried because I think that might be true.
that I would think is hot.
If
I don't know. I'd have to be put in the situation. So, you got anything else for us? Nothing really.
Nah.
It was kind of hard to concentrate. I mean, but especially because the Thunderdome was great for what it was, but it's just left something. So watching wrestling when the Thunderdome did what it did, and then the shows started being so generic that the same guys were wrestling each other over and over again. And I mean, last night, I don't know if you noticed, but last week's SmackDown had Mysterio versus the Mysterios versus
Ziggler and Rude,
and somebody jumped Dominic behind the scenes. And then this week's they had Ziggler versus Rude versus the Mysterios, and somebody jumped Ray behind the scenes, which I think was the 5,233rd time that Rey Mysterio was jumped behind the scenes and may not have made the tag team match, but did at the end. So, yeah, it just got to be so blah. But, one match in front of a live crowd, and I'm like, wow, I have to stop what I'm doing and watch this because I want the crowd makes me want to pay attention to it. Right. And they still have the things that bother me, like the crowd cues on things that I think is something that's piped in. Because, I really don't think that looking at the crowd, it looks like people start saying stuff, and they've got this look on their face like, let's go, blah, blah. Let's go, blah, blah. They're saying, I'm saying it too. Right. It's like the wave.
Well,
3 people want to do a fucking wave. And they end up getting the entire stadium to do it just through pure pressure. Right.
Well, and part of that crowd was cardboard.
Yeah.
So,
they didn't wave.
It was so loud though. There's no way that the number of people that actually had present made that much noise.
No. Right, but the having a real crowd that is having a real reaction.
Yeah.
Yes,
the big thing because you can hear the reactions, and there's no way they could pump them in that fast. We hear the pumped in reactions, and it's all on chance. Last night was really bad. They turned it up to the next level on SmackDown. And I was like, the sound engineer his fingers tired.
Yeah,
punching that button. AEW turned their stuff on. They went to a full capacity before the show that I didn't watch last night. Yeah. That they went to a full capacity there, and it just 100% felt different, and it was nice. I just wish they would have better.
It was really, really loud.
Yeah. There's a pay-per-view.
It was nice. Yeah, it was nice to actually hear the genuine reaction compared to the piped-in bullshit.
Yeah.
And Darby, I don't get it. I don't get Darby, but
if they get it,
he's over.
If they get it, it's fine. It's good. There's over, and then there's forced down our throat over, and at a time that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
First of all,
I want to know what his bones are made of.
Yeah, no shit.
They have to be made of lead,
right?
Weighing it at 170 pounds.
No.
Fuck you.
Yeah, no, you're not.
If you ever needed the definition.
Maybe 155.
Maybe. I would guess probably around 125, unless he's super muscular.
About Andy's size.
Yeah, he is.
But he is Hypnosis Andy.
Yeah,
he's a teeny guy, and let's just leave him be a teeny guy. Come on, let's not try to make it something it's not. Let's not try to make it something obviously stupid. Like weighing in at 170 pounds on Jupiter? Because definitely not on Earth. That's not the way. Soaking wet and wearing boots. How fucking big are the boots?
Yeah.
This dude's not 170. That is the definition of kayfabe right there.
Yeah.
He weighs 170 pounds. No, just go with it.
Yeah, no shit.
You got to suspend disbelief that a guy weighs 170 fucking pounds. He was wrestling. Who was he wrestling the other night? Where it was Christian Cage. He weighs 170 pounds. Christian Cage listed at 220, and I'm like, no. If that's 220, that's not 170.
Yeah.
He's got a special scale.
Yeah,
That's
a fake one.
Yeah.
It goes from 170 to 170.
Right.
You got pee. Yeah. Mad restroom break. Cool. I missed this.
I didn't pause anything, so
That's cool.
Okay.
Well, for yeah, you got to pause it because for this I got to. If I'm putting it on YouTube,
how do I pause this in again?
Transition. Hit the button.
Do I
hold it in?
Hold it in.
There you go. And now we just. Yeah. Looks like both of them are going. Cool. We're back from a little break.
Excuse me.
Some people had to tinkle.
Yeah.
The dog had to tinkle too, so everything's good. Too much information. Maybe I'll cut this out. Maybe I won't. I doubt it. I'm lazy. So, how do you feel for anything that's happened between?
That was the dog started whining.
Oh, everything like the dog's like, I really want to go outside. Anything that's happened from last one to here?
I really liked the whole build up with the Sasha and Bianca thing.
Yep.
I thought that was real good. I'm really liking the RK Bro thing.
Yeah,
I'm really loving that. Yep. It's giving Randy another dimension.
Yep,
and I'm liking it.
Yeah, you know the little cartoon dogs where the big dog and the little dog and the little dog. What are you doing? Yep. It just reminds me of that. That's pretty good.
And then him and Riddle and Woods' match on Monday.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I want to repeat.
Yeah.
That match was good.
Yeah, Woods has great matches.
It actually gave Woods a chance to wrestle like he was in TNA.
Yeah.
And given that kind of performance, not having to worry about Kofi, about having to have Kofi there with the help. But.
Yeah, and every time that Sheamus and Bro.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Riddle?
Yeah.
Riddle.
Every time Sheamus and Riddle get in there, they tear it down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of it is Riddle being able to do what he's doing. So,
and with the whole heel type stuff that you were talking about with Kofi and Woods,
yeah,
you could see it come through in the singles match.
Right.
Just with every time he would get hit, he was like, motherfucker. And then he'd come back, trifold.
Yeah.
And then, what other match was it? The NXT, Cross and Balor beat the shit out of each other.
Yep.
But when they're on the ground, they were throwing the forearms to the back of the head. I was like, this is weak shit. Weak shit. If you're going to hit him, hit him.
Just fucking do it,
Like
man.
when you're showing the emotion, but you're not even barely touching him.
Yeah.
But all in all, I thought that match was good.
Yeah.
It was real good.
I mean, even adjusted. Don't go to the back of the neck or
Yeah.
the back of the head. Go down to his shoulder blades. Just fucking blast him.
They're coming down, coming down with force, and then barely touch.
I think I remember making a comment about that when the match was on.
You did. Yeah, you were like, why even do it?
Yeah.
There's no reason to do that. Why even do that? Because there wasn't. And I just looked up from what I was doing and went, and that was it. Because I was like, come on. Because that was the worst thing. Like when I was trying to train dudes, I would bend somebody over and I would blast them. And I wanted to see how they came up from that. Because if they came up from that, like, dude, you need to toughen the fuck up. Because that's the meaty part of my forearm on the back. The only thing it did was make a lot of noise, shake your breath around, and you can take that all fucking day.
Yep, all day.
Because if I'm doing that in a match and I've got people watching, I'm bringing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to fake it. And that's something I could do that's safe, that people would look at it and think, oh my God. And it's nothing. It's literally nothing. So
that's like the whole clothesline thing.
Yeah, I'm fucking bringing it.
Dusty's like, your clothesline looks weak as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. So I started throwing him like he was throwing them. And
Yeah.
I was like
Like you
all
said,
right.
it should be just like a punch.
Yep.
You're just not punching him, but it should.
And Justin was
like
the
a
same
punch.
way. Like, you can tell there's a I love you clothesline and a fuck you clothesline.
Yeah.
Because that fuck you clothesline is clothesline from hell times 10.
Right.
Because I'm falling with that shit.
Yeah.
If I fall on my hip, guess what? Your head's ringing.
Yep.
Like,
And like Dusty would tell everybody else, like if I go to the clothesline, you don't pre-sell it
yeah.
because I'll break your fucking nose.
Get your
I'm
shit
bringing
knocked
it.
out.
I'm bringing it to your chest, but if you pre-sell it, I'm gonna get you in the nose. I'm gonna get you under the chin. I'm gonna get you in the neck. You're not gonna like that. So yeah, it's just do it. I will say one thing I did like about Balor and Jesus Christ Cross. The scene where Cross is in the ring, and then they pan back and Balor's behind him.
Yeah.
And he turns around,
So
and
what
Balor
took you
goes,
so long?
I want my rematch for that title. And Cross said, anytime, let's do it. That's fucking wrestling. It's not. He turns around, Balor's there, and a fight ensues because this is a competition. And they did that again in one of the other matches on Raw or something where they just got in and said, I want that title. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. And there wasn't a fight. There wasn't somebody stole somebody's jacket. Like I don't know, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, who steals her jacket all the time. So there wasn't a fight. Well, now he was wearing your grandmother, the cover for your grandmother's lawn chair.
Yeah,
out in the ring the
that
other day.
suit last night.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, his suits are fucking pretty badass.
So that's wrestling. That could get you excited because if you see them fight, you're seeing them fight, and that's what they're going to do. So you're basically giving away what you're trying to sell.
Right.
Whereas if they don't fight, if a whole group of people hold them back is one thing, but if they just come up and say, let's do this thing, and they face off fucking UFC style, that's a better way to show a rivalry and say that's what we're going to do. And it was a great thing that they did. I like the whole thing with Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, the Pineapple, the Pinnacle. They're doing it when they're cutting the promos on each other. They're doing well.
Yeah.
They're bringing it in. I would like less I'm going to murder you.
Yeah.
And more I'm going to beat you into submission, or I'm going to change your career or stuff like that, because those are crazy. Those are great. But the I'm going to murder you shit needs to stop.
Yes.
Because that's not what we're about, unless you're lighting a dude on fire in the middle of a ring for some fucked up reason.
Or lighting his crotch on fire, hitting him with a weed whacker.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
But see, I would like to see that more.
Not the weed whacker stuff.
No, not the weed whacker stuff. There's a time, honestly, there was a time in my career when if I heard this guy uses a weed whacker on the guy, I would be like, I've got to see that. And then I would realize after seeing it once that that's all it's good for.
Yep.
Is to see it once. Because if I've got a guy that all the time comes to the ring with a fucking weed whacker, one, what is he going to do to up that? Is he going to just come out to the room with a knife and just start slicing people up? Because that's what it takes. Two, does he bring a gun and pistol whip a guy and maybe it fires off in the air because that's an escalation. But if he just keeps bringing a weed whacker, nowhere to go but down.
Right.
Because everybody that's seen the weed whackers are like, yeah, it looks the same getting that guy as it does anything. You take a weed whacker, you turn it on, you hit him. So, yep. Cool. For me, I just really haven't been watching wrestling much. I've been watching with in the background to pay attention, but I haven't. I mean, it's been the same old stuff. Mostly, I've just been wrapping my head around the side of the computer monitor while I was playing a game and going, fucking idiot.
Right.
And that's about it.
The Raquel, that match was fucking good too. When she won the belt.
Yep.
That match was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a good match. I don't like Io Shirai.
You're right.
I don't know if you guys heard that. You guys know I didn't like Io Shirai.
I mean, I was aware.
I knew you hated the moonsault.
Yeah, you know what? If she cleared that shit up, I would still have a problem because it's not what you're doing in the ring, it's what you're doing in between what you're doing.
Right.
And she does not have that. I don't give a shit who says she does. She does not have that it factor.
Right.
Where I want to see this person just walk over to pick somebody up. That is a generic person walking over to pick someone up slowly and not forcefully and guide her up. Like, that's just not how you're supposed to do it to make me into it. And then if you're going to use something as your fucking finisher, it should be the best thing in your arsenal, not the worst thing in your arsenal.
Absolutely.
She can't hit that every time. She barely ever hits it. And yeah, she's fucking nutso and will jump off a 45-foot skull onto somebody.
Right.
But, I mean, given the opportunity, there's a lot of other girls out there that are nutso and will jump off a 45-foot skull and have better presence in the ring. Shotzi's got great presence in the ring. I really enjoy everything that she does in the ring. I don't agree with the shit she does outside of the ring.
I knew the tank was going to come up. I knew it because when I was watching the replay of NXT, and her and Ember come out on that fucking tank, I was like,
I didn't see that.
Bill's going to have a fucking heyday with this.
I didn't see it.
No.
Because Sheila, I was like, I wasn't watching it. I look up and Ember Moon and Shotzi are in the ring and they're wrestling, and I'm cool with that. And then Sheila goes, did they come to the ring in the tank? And I'm like, why? Why would you? I was happy. And then you said, did she come to the ring in the tank? And I'm like, why? What? A quick analysis of what that means to me is, like, if you're trying to be serious and you come to the ring in a fucking tank, you're not trying to be serious.
Right.
But worse, you're not taking yourself seriously. You're not taking your opponent seriously. You're not taking the match seriously. You're not taking the show seriously. Right. Because there's all those other girls that are out there that are trying to do something with attitude, and you're an idiot on a tank.
Right.
When you get off the tank, your work is as good as everybody else's, maybe even better in some of those spots. But as long as you drive the Fisher-Price tank to the fucking ring, congratulations, you're where you are.
Right.
You're going to be stuck in that tank tread. Now Ember Moon's riding on the back of it.
Right.
Happy day. It's now a two-person tank. But the girls that don't need that are getting shown up by the girl that has it because it's a nicety, and everybody's like, oh, look, I want to see the tank. I want to see the tank. Mommy, show me the tank. I mean, you remember in all of the things that we've done, we've always run into someone who had a kitsch. Prince of Pain comes to mind. He had a fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
That's all he was. Therefore, there are going to be people who want to see that because it's different. Yep. Well, he's shit for anything else.
Yep.
And if he's listening, you're shit.
Yeah, you're trash.
You're fucking trash. And if you don't know it by now, people aren't being honest with you and have some introspection. But it's a gimmick and people are going to see it. But that's what they're going to want to see it for.
Yeah, and they loved the gimmick.
Yeah.
And they hated him, which made it even better.
They don't want to see him win. They don't want to see him lose.
They don't want to see him wrestle.
They don't even. That's good. They don't. That's a good one. They don't even want to see him wrestle. They just want to see him. He's the fucking clown that comes out in between acts to entertain people. But it gets even worse when somebody's trying really hard and they're like, "Oh, bring back Prince of Pain."
Yeah.
Why? You've seen it. What's going on? And that's what the tag.
It was like the chicken.
Yeah.
The chicken. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, with the insane guy that had the chicken, Tacky the chicken with all the thumbtacks in it. Wow. Rubber chicken. It didn't. That was
him and
the guy that was not there and should not have been wrestling. What was his name?
No, Snake.
Snake. Yeah, Snake.
No, I'm talking about theater at the theater. Dude, the kid that wore the chicken mask.
I do not.
Came down from Wisconsin.
I do not remember this.
Was it?
Can't remember what the hell. He came down with Jason Dukes and Peter B and all them.
Peter B.
You have a long nose?
Yeah, I think so.
Goofy looking?
That could
because he was coming down with Vato. It was like one of the first times Vato came down. He down with them when they came.
I remember I remember Peter Be Beautiful showing up for the first time because I love the name. Peter Be Beautiful. Okay, I got it. And I remember Vato, and I remember because it was a separate people, because I tied them together, but they were different. Slim was from a different place, but they all came together about the same time. I don't remember
Slim
how
was
the
from
chicken.
Ohio.
Maybe I blocked it out on purpose. I know that if somebody said you're wrestling the chicken tonight, I'd be like, ha ha, no.
I was thinking it was, for some reason, I keep thinking it was the dude that we had on our shows. That guy.
Frank Stein.
Yeah.
No,
That wasn't him? Did he look like him?
No.
Then
This kid was probably 15 or 16.
Yeah.
He was coming down from Michigan, and then, or not Michigan, Wisconsin. And the one time Dukes came down, I had asked him, I'm like, where's the chicken at? And he's like, oh, he got busted for drugs. So he ended up going to jail.
Wow.
For a whole bunch, like having a whole bunch of
See, I
stuff.
thought you were talking about Tacky the chicken.
Nope. Oh,
Okay.
no.
I got
No,
you.
not Snake. Who I
wasn't
have a losing record against, by the way.
Awesome.
Could never have happened.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
But yeah, on the wrestling front, I contacted Heroes and Legends because, I'm starting reffing now, and
Yeah.
he was like, well, I don't have anything booked for sure yet. Okay. Got a hold of him again, didn't get a response.
Yeah.
Week after the show, he messaged me, man, where were you on Saturday? Like, dude, you haven't contacted me for months. Like, I was waiting. I had responded to you.
Did he
no
tell you
answer.
he had 2 tickets for your will call?
No, he told me I was going to have you do Homeless Hank. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I said that'd have been nice to know. I was going to come and ref
Who is this?
Jason,
Oh, okay.
and
I was going to have you do Homeless
I
Hank.
was like, well,
Come on in. I'm going to have you be Homeless Hank.
yeah, for no reason.
It's like, do you know what you know what booking a guy is? Do you know what that is?
Right.
Huh. Okay.
But I did talk to a newer Fed down around Greenfield
Okay.
and hit them up about reffing, and they said that the June show was booked, but they want to bring me down for July.
Cool.
So
Awesome. Greenfield's not that
Road
far
show.
away.
Road trip, I mean.
Greenfields were, yep. I don't want to mention names. It's like, hey, that's where my buddy, blah, 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 at this address with this phone number. Here's a social security number.
Isn't it nice to have been married for so long that you could just go, is it? And I
Yeah.
go, and know exactly what you
Yeah, I could also do the,
Well, yeah.
yeah, there, yeah, and maybe something else. See? Awesome. Okay. I think we're wrapping down. I think we said some stuff. You got something?
You didn't ask me.
You're the producer.
I know, but I still
Come on,
have
producer.
opinion. I watch wrestling more than you do. You were the one that said that I was reacting to stuff the other day. I just want to say,
I'll allow it.
I just wanted to say that I'm very sad that Miz got hurt.
yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
on
That
a roll.
sucks so much.
I know.
He was on a roll, and
I mean,
that match was fucking ridiculous. It
Zombies.
didn't need to happen.
No,
The zombies
I
didn't
was
need to
not
happen.
going to bring up the zombies. I
but
really, really did not want to bring up the zombies.
I want you to know that had escaped my memory until the portion where you said, I'm really sad that Miz got hurt. And I didn't know if you were talking about his knee or his career
Right.
because he had to finish a match in the middle of the ring covered by fucking zombies.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
okay, but WWE had to probably take some. Well, because they merged with Peacock,
Mm-hmm.
and that means that Peacock is going to want to have some say in what
In-
happens on shows, especially pay-per-views.
This is something that I'm dealing with on a regular basis, and something that I have a blessed ability to do, and that is to say no. and they have that ability. I don't care.
Yeah, I know that
because it's at the point that they're at. It'd be a mutual problem. If they would say you're going to put zombies on your show, and I go, no, I'm not. Are they going to go? Then you're not going to have a show, because then I'm going to go, okay, that hurts you too,
right?
Because it does,
right? Because they already paid for some of it. But no, I'm not at all defending zombie lumberjacks. Although I did like the thing that you said about the fact that
they were actually being better lumberjacks than AEW.
Yes. But
she sent that off to Chris Jericho.
I did,
and I was like, God damn it, she got me blocked by Chris Jericho.
Well, he made a comment about how they set wrestling back 30 years by having zombie lumberjacks.
30 years ago, there were zombies. You didn't know that?
No. And
everybody knew 30 years ago. It was just zombies and fucking Jimmy Hart. That was it. That was all that was there 30 years ago.
I was like, I can't let that pass. I'm not going to let that pass. Like, because I don't like the wrestling that they're doing. Actually, I would rather wrestling go back 30 years because it was kind of better wrestling.
All right, I don't want to overwhelm our YouTube viewership with, because I know if I look at something that's like a 2-hour fucking show, I'm like, I really want to watch that, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to cut.
Let's touch on I just want to touch on the Bad Bunny match.
Bad Bunny was
awesome. Match was fucking great.
He did a really good job.
What's that?
I tried to wait.
Him and Pat by far are the two most impressive celebrities that have been in matches.
Right.
The Shaq shit was, anybody can fall backwards off the fucking apron.
The only thing I can appreciate about Shaq is the selling.
Yeah.
He sold it correct. It was great.
But wrestling wise, Pat and Bad Bunny.
Yep. They tore it up.
Tore that shit down. And then Taya Valkyrie making her debut on NXT.
Frankie Monet.
Yeah, Monet.
Yes.
Those fucking knees, that shit in the corner.
Yeah.
Vicious as fuck. I don't care. Corey was probably like, God damn it. God damn it. It was good shit. And I like how she threw in the Weird Loca shit. Like, now you know who it is, but you don't know who it is. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that real fast before we're done.
That's good. That new NXT faction with Swerve.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed that. That's good, new, fresh.
Hit row,
fresh kind of. Yeah,
but shit, you had to have something to take the place of fucking Undisputed Era.
Yeah, it's true.
And then the shit with the Way, I'm liking that shit, and the whole little stalker but not stalker shit, like. It's all good stuff.
Like, Austin Theory's hilarious.
Oh, dude, that
every
fucking
time.
kid.
Every time Austin Theory's hilarious.
He's got the whole dumb shit.
The timing. That's what I appreciate about Shayna Baszler, because Shayna Baszler has got the deadpan, real timing to make something funny.
Yeah,
like Nia will say something to Reginald, and she'd be like, "This fucking guy?
Yeah,
this guy?
this is
guy.
the reason we lost."
But then you focus on her.
Yeah.
And it gets cranky. It gets cut up. Because she's like holding him, is like, you are going to have a match with me. And I'm like, you do so well off the cuff. Right. Just off the cuff. Just grab him. Say you're going to kick his ass.
Your ass.
I'm betting not the first time she's grabbed somebody and said, I'm going to beat your ass.
Right.
So she knows how to do it. I'm sure she's nice. Everybody is. Some, mostly.
Right.
Okay. This has been a good one. It's been a long one.
Yeah.
Had fun. I'm glad we're back.
Yeah.
This has been good. We're back again. It's awesome. We may not do it every week. We may do it every other week. I think that's going to be an easier way to get everybody into it and give us a little bit more to say when we're ready. Because, I mean, we did 2 months and we had a lot to say today.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a little long, and I apologize for that. I'm not going to apologize. Watch or don't watch, I don't give a fuck. Fast forward. You got that button. So, yeah, I think that we're going to side this one off. So you got anything you want to say before this one ends? Or
just glad to be back.
Yeah.
Glad to hang out.
Awesome.
I've been missing it.
Yeah, it is fun.
But, with a new baby and all that stuff, work. And
Yeah, yet another thing.
baseball. And
Yeah, yet another thing. Every other week might be a good thing.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? You got anything from like producer?
No.
Nothing from you.
By the way, we are looking for a new producer.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Or sound technician, or all the other things that she does.
Just kidding, Sheila.
Yeah, she's awesome. And both of doing the producing and being the wife. So awesome thing. And for me, I'm just glad to be able to have a platform that I can talk about and piss people off or
Make people happy. Who knows?
make people happy. Who knows? Some people might like it. Some people don't. Like and subscribe and press the bell button. No, sorry, I can't do that.
Send all of your questions.
Yeah, we do have a place you can do questions at monkey-flip.com. You got any problems, anything you want to say, you want to say F you, that can go to producer at monkey-flip.com. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And we hope to be able to do this for a long time. And we're going to sign out. We'll see you guys later.